Hi there, and welcome again to 272. Here's an overview of your syllabus for spring of 21. Again, I'm really looking forward to this term together. I have posted here my contact information. I have both my office phone and my cell phone. I will only be on campus likely on Mondays and Tuesdays this semester with my teaching schedule. So if you need to talk or need a quick response, I don't mind if you contact me on my personal phone, this 614 number. I have my email listed here, but if you need a quick response, please feel free to send me a message. Just identify, let me know who you are when you send that so I know who I'm responding to. I have my office hours set this semester to be all virtual via Zoom. My hours are set for Thursdays from 12 to 2. If those hours don't work out, then just send me an email and we'll coordinate another time to meet. You can access the appointments through my virtual office here. We don't have a required textbook, but rather a memoir that we're reading this semester. It's My Body Politic by a leading and wonderful scholar in the field, Simi Linton. You'll be introduced to her in the first couple weeks through her memoir via documentary and also some of her scholarship that we'll be reading about what is and is not disability studies. I have here listed the course description and course objectives. I'm not going to read them for you. I'd like for you to do that on your own, but rather highlight what I think are some of the most important pieces. And so I want to start by saying what disability studies is not. This is not a course where we're going to explore medical pathology, educational strategies, causes, characteristics of disability in any way. We're not going to explore Down syndrome or autism as a disability. We are rather going to look at disability through a way that's maybe not how you've explored or thought about disability before, but we're going to look at it as a social construction. So we're going to take a social justice approach and look through a social lens of how disability exaggerates or even creates disability. So this semester we will be watching documentaries, reading scholarship, and learning from the disabled community. I'm very much going to privilege and lift up the voices of the disabled community throughout the semester. So we're learning from, not learning about, and we're going to explore critical theory and how it relates to this new and emerging field of disability studies. So two objectives that I want to point out. The first one, we will throughout the semester continue to create a critical understanding of the social construction of disability. We'll explore that when we look at the models of disability. This seventh one here that's highlighted, I believe that this is the most important of all of our objectives. It's also my favorite assignment and your culminating assignment for this semester. This term you will develop, present, and become personally involved in implementing a plan to move toward more just and inclusive practices for the disabled community. And I'll describe that here shortly when we look at our assignments. All right. So I've thought a lot about this class and my philosophies as a teacher. I have increasing experiences with students who are very set on the grades that they're earning for their class and the points for every assignment. And sometimes I think that we can get lost in wanting to earn the points or a grade, and it can take over what we're learning and really focusing on the learning. And so I'm offering an opportunity this semester, rather than offering points for every assignment, I'm offering you a structure that says here are all the assignments for the course, and if you complete these you can earn a certain letter grade or you can earn credit for the course. Again, my intention of doing this is for you to hopefully more mindfully and deeply engage in the content, knowing you know exactly what you need to do to be successful in the class and learn more as a result, and not feel hung up on the grade that you have. So every week you'll have a weekly module that provides you an overview from the beginning of all of the content that we're going to cover. One of your recurring assignments is a weekly module content reflective assignment. I'm going to describe that in more detail shortly. You'll have 11 of those throughout the term. You're going to have 4 application assignments where you dive a little bit more deeply into the content. You're going to generate a book reflection project based on My Body Politic and Simi's life story that she shares. And then, as I mentioned in that 7th course learning objective, you're going to complete an action project. As a hybrid class, we're going to have in-person discussions. We're also going to have Zoom discussions for students who are not on campus or able to come to classes. I know students may be in and out of quarantine or things just happen. I also know that we have students who are staying remote this semester, and so you will engage in the class content by doing discussions every Monday. So the way that I want to structure this class is giving you in an asynchronous way all of the content online. So you'll go through the class through these weekly modules. You'll watch my video lectures, weekly overviews, watch documentaries, do the readings, and then when we come together on Mondays, that's when we'll discuss, apply the content, and engage with each other. So it's an opportunity for you to ask questions, meet your classmates, and really sort of digest the material. We're going to sign up for these and we're going to rotate through. So we have small groups that will come on Mondays for the face-to-face sessions, and then on alternating weeks we'll have Zoom discussions for students that are not on campus or able to come to the face-to-face sessions. We'll be signing up for those, and there'll be more details to come soon. Okay, so what I have set up here are the criteria for you to earn an A, to earn a B, to earn a C, or to earn credit for this class if you're taking it for credit, no credit. I will let you read through these in more detail, but I think that they very clearly articulate what you need to do. So as you submit these assignments, I'm going to give you completion grades. You're not going to earn points for these, but rather you will get constructive feedback that says, tell me a little bit more about this, reflect a little bit more, so that you're continually adding more or improving what you're sharing for the class. But you're going to develop then a checklist, and if you complete all of these items in whichever category that you want to earn, then that's the grade that you'll receive. So I have here the criteria for each, and you'll see this is to earn an A. This is everything that we have laid out in the class. And then what's not negotiable to me is whether or not you learn all of the material. So you'll see the difference as this criteria goes from an A to a C to just earning credit. I'm looking for less application and less other assignments that you're completing, but what is consistent between all 4 of these options is that you complete all 11 weekly module content reflective assignments. So what's not negotiable is whether or not you learn the content this semester, but how you're applying it and how many assignments you're doing related to the content. And so we have 11 weekly modules, and I would like for all students in this class to learn everything that I have to teach you and to go through each of those modules. I also have set here how much you participate in our either in-person or Zoom discussions on Mondays. We're going to create like a individual attendance log, and so I'd like for you to share with me at the end of the semester to justify I attended at least 90% of these Zoom classes or in-person classes, or the case if you want a B or a C, 80 or 70%. So we'll describe this in a little bit more detail as we get going, but I hope that you find this as an opportunity to focus on your learning, let go of being worried about what grade or standing you have. As long as you are turning in these assignments and you're getting a check mark on Canvas that says completed, then you're making your way towards the grade that you want to earn. I also think that this is advantageous because if you're taking this class just for credit, rather than doing all the assignments and seeing what grade you have at the end, this is upfront, and here's exactly what you need to do. All right, please let me know if you have any questions with this. Also, please let me know if this just really stresses you out, and I can describe it in some more detail. I started this last semester and had really good feedback from students. I think that they found that they were able to learn more by not worrying about points so much, but really just focusing on learning all of the content and then sharing with me what you've learned. All right. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the syllabus review of your assignments because they'll be in better description on Canvas under the assignment tabs, but I'd like to just be sure to talk maybe in a bit more detail about this weekly module content reflective assignment. And so you'll have 11 of these over the term, and on weeks that we have content that I'll be sharing, I'd like for you to take notes as you watch the documentaries, read the articles or the blogs or the pieces, and review any lectures that I share or any other content or media that you'll find in our weekly overview. So I'd like for you to take notes as you go through the content, and then I would like for you to submit 2 things. I'd like for you to submit in a weekly overview, and I'd like for you to submit a weekly reflection. You can do these on 2 different documents that you upload to the same assignment, or you can create one. So one of the big themes that we're going to explore this semester is universal design, where we make things as accessible as we can in spaces and products and in education. And so I'm incorporating the themes of universal design and universal design for learning into this assignment, where I want to build in an accessible way for you to tell me what you've learned and tell me how you're reflecting and resonating with the content in a way that works best with your learning style. And so I have some examples here. So for your weekly overview, if you are someone who likes to type notes as you read, submit your Google Doc or your Word doc. If you like to handwrite out your notes, snap a picture and upload those. If you like to create a graphic organizer or highlight the readings and take notes, whatever works for you, just show me what you've learned. You could do a voiceover Google Slides presentation. These are really open-ended. Take a video of yourself describing what you learned for the week. And then you're going to also submit your weekly reflection. So a popular way that students submitted their weekly reflections last semester was by submitting a 3-2-1, where you tell me 3 takeaways that you had from the content, 2 questions that you still have, and 1 application to your life, to your future career, or some personal way that you connected with the content for that week. Some fun things that I came up with: you could create a meme or memes that capture main arguments, infographics. You could take a video. You could compose an email to an author or a scholar, that was highlighted in the weekly content, and tell them about your takeaways. You don't have to send it to the scholar. It'd be just a way to show what you're reflecting on. All right. So this is a space for you to explore different ways to take notes and reflect. You can do them differently each week, or you can stick with the same from week to week. It's really up to you. We'll have 4 application assignments where we do a deeper dive into the content, and those will be described in better detail on Canvas. One will be coming up soon, which is your environmental observation. You'll take 24 hours to observe the social and physical environment around you and reflect on your takeaways. We're going to do a media analysis where you pick a TV show or a movie that features a character with a disability and sort of unpack the way that character is portrayed. We're going to do an audit with universal design principles that we'll be learning later in the term, and then an overall takeaway of what you've learned this semester for your 4th application. As you read My Body Politic, I have the chapters laid out throughout the term. We'll be discussing it on our Mondays that we come together, but I'd like for you towards the end of the term to either write a paper about your takeaways, or in the spirit of universal design, do an open-ended project where you're talking about what you've learned from Simi's journey and memoir and how it connects to you and your life. Right, and then as I mentioned, we're going to rotate through our Monday class sessions between small groups of students who are here in person on campus, and then Zoom meetings for students who are not here. We'll be talking about the content that we covered in My Body Politic. It'll also be a time to connect with your peers and to discuss and ask me questions. So I'm really looking forward to those Mondays. I'm not going to describe your action project here to keep down the length of this video, but I'd like for you to watch this YouTube video that's linked here, where I describe the action project in greater detail. You'll submit a paper that describes what you did for your action project. Students with disabilities know that you need not disclose, but I will make any accommodation that I can. Please just be open with me and let me know how I can support you in any way. I want for this to be as accessible as a learning experience as possible. So just please let me know how I can support you. And lastly, here you'll see we have a week-to-week schedule of what's due, but you will find those in your weekly overviews as well. Take care, and I'm really excited for this term.